What are we saying online? Thought I'd do a little match preview for Bournemouth. I'm not around in the evening, so I won't be doing a live stream. So I thought, let me just jump on, do a little live, um, do a little Bournemouth preview. Obviously, it's at Stamford Bridge. Um, 1 second, what's that? It's at Stamford Bridge. Obviously, our record at home at the moment. It's not very good. I mean, you look at the record table, the form table at home. Let me just check where we are. I'm sure we're like 14th in the form table at home, which is just nowhere near good enough. So let's just go on the form. 20 games home. We are 13th in the league for our home record, which is it's not good enough. I mean, another poor result. Obviously, before we do the Bournemouth, let's just talk about Villa. Um, if you go on my channel, check the match reaction that I've done. That was more fresh. That was more of a fresh emotion straight after the game. So you'll get more of a detailed breakdown of what I thought about that game. But obviously, another poor home result, adding to that poor form at home. What used to be Stamford Bridge used to be a fortress. You know, we hold the record for uh, unbeaten records at home. 1 second. And it's just broken, man. A 2-1 loss to Villa. We dominated for a good hour in that game, like a very good hour of domination. And then Emery just seemed to switch it up. He just I was saying all game, the fact that they're playing Donny Marlin and Rogers up like near, well, it was up top, but they had no outlet. They couldn't hold the ball up. All that they were players that like to get the ball and run with it. They don't want the ball. It's hard to say they don't want the ball at feet because they're footballers. They do, but Ollie Watkins was that target man. He would hold that ball up. He would bring people into play. He'd make strikers runs. So we knew it was always going to be difficult if he came onto the pitch. And I was saying in my live stream, Emery's fucked up here. He's made a massive mistake by not playing Ollie Watkins. And I think that showed with how we performed. I thought we was very dominant. We spent a good hour in their half. They couldn't get the ball in our half and make it stick. And that's all because they didn't have their target man up top. Give it a 60 minutes mark. Emery spots the problems. He sees that McGinn and Buendia are not necessarily adding anything to their game. They're not really, keeping the ball moving and getting it out. They're missing something forward to keep it going. Emery sees that, makes 3 changes, puts Tillemans in behind, and within 4 minutes they get a goal, an equaliser. Yes, the goal was lucky, but the warning signs were there very early on. Once they made them 3 subs, they made those 3 substitutions, and straight away shape had changed. Bang, we're under pressure. We had a good 4 minutes of pressure, and they had the ball in the back of the net. After that, still under pressure. The game had completely flipped on its heads. And then we see the 3 subs that Enzo Maresca makes, and okay, it comes out Cucurella needed to come off because he was carrying an injury. Now, we could go down the route of arguing that, why hadn't he rested him beforehand? He wouldn't have had to have done this. He may not have got injured, but that's all if, buts, and maybes. What happened. He got injured or felt something. Don't know if he's available for today. Gusto has to come on, and he has to play at left back. Obviously, Hato's injured, and he hasn't been utilised very well, in my opinion, by Maresca. Obviously, he made one mistake in the Champions League and hasn't bothered since, which is a bit disappointing, to be fair, considering how well he used to play for Ajax last season and the hype surrounding this player. Bit disappointed that we haven't used him enough. Obviously, he's injured at the moment, so we can't use him, but it is what it is. And then we bring on Gittins for Garnacho, which for me, if you're trying to win a game, I don't understand. I thought Garnacho was actually I thought he had a good first half, very good first half. Got Matty Cash a yellow card, and yes, even a commentator was saying it. He should have done more to get out Matty Cash and make sure that he's on a yellow card. Try and take him on, beat him, force him to make a challenge that, you know, could potentially give him another yellow card, and he didn't do that. So whether or not he goes into half time and he's saying to Garnacho, look, get at your player because he's on a yellow card, and if you can't do that, you're coming off. Maybe that's, we don't see these conversations, so maybe that is the conversation that happened, and maybe that's the reason why he come off. I don't know, but I actually thought Garnacho was doing okay. And when you weigh up on the other side on Neto, I found Neto first half. I thought all of the players played pretty well, but when you look at the output that you were getting on Neto's side, I didn't feel like it was any better than Garnacho's. I thought Garnacho was actually putting balls across the box that we should have had players on the end of. Good crosses into the box. Okay, he did the occasional rubbish one, but he caused problems for Matty Cash. Hence the yellow card. You know, he put him on his toes. Neto's a bit. I don't know. It seemed like everything that he was doing, it just wasn't coming off. He weren't beating the first man. His crosses were going nowhere. Bit predictable. I just don't think it was like, it was a frustrating performance. A lot of the attacking moves broke down with him. There was one that keeps circulating on the internet at the moment. That's with Enzo passing out to Neto. Neto can't get on the end of it, and it just goes out for a throw in. Whether or not that's Enzo's fault or Neto's, who knows? But I thought Neto should have been the player that came off. I didn't understand why it was Garnacho. And then you're bringing on Delap for João Pedro. Delap's obviously just coming back from an injury. We're trying to win a game. If Pedro was tired and had to come off, fair enough. But was he? Or was it just, you know, we saw literally 5 to 10 minutes of a game flip the other way, and we made all these changes. Didn't give any time for them players on the actual pitch to settle in for that new shape. He should have been looking at the shape, to be fair, and going, okay, Tielemans is now in a 10. We need to bolster this midfield. Who could I bring on? Now you look at our bench, and obviously the quality is just not there. That's not a Maresca problem. He's not been backed. That goes all the way back to the SDs. Now, when you look at online and the outbreak that comes off from a loss, that's because we're in the position that we're in now, because we've dropped so many points throughout the season already. We're in a position now where we can't drop points. And every single game where we do drop points is going to be scrutinised down to the T. They're going to be moaning every single time, whether it's Maresca or whether it's the SDs. How I like to look at it is, yes, the SDs have made it. They've made it an issue this season, 100%. They haven't given Maresca the tools to do his job. There isn't enough quality. We've gone backwards this year. After a Club World Cup win, we should have been rounding up players where we go, do you know what, we're going to the next step. We're going to go try and get a title or compete for a title and try and wrap up some of these domestic cups as well and go far in the Champions League. That's what they should have been doing, but they didn't. So when you look at who's left the club and who's came in, not good enough. That's a board and an SD problem. It all goes down to the board at the end of the day and how well their recruitment has been. It ain't been good enough. Down to, in my opinion, everyone. SDs, manager, players. Bang average. Bang average. And nobody, for some reason, no Chelsea fan out there, which, well, there is Chelsea fans out there, but all of a sudden, this new ownership and it seems like we've brought over new fans who seem to forget who we were as Chelsea Football Club in our prime. And they like to do this, oh, but we weren't winning it under the end days of Roman Abramovich and all this. I get that, but come on, man. Be serious. It wasn't like this. It was not like this. And then it's like you're not allowed to mention standards anymore. Like, that's just pathetic. We are nowhere near the club we used to be. If anything, and I said it in a tweet earlier on this week, I feel like this board have leveled us out as a top 6 club, like literally a top 6 club. We're not a top 4 club. Top 6 is where we are. That is the level that we are at. We're so inconsistent that's where we are. Now, whether we need to add in some experience in there, maybe we need to improve the manager, maybe we need to improve the coaches, maybe we need to improve, we know we need to improve the sporting directors. That's a given. But when you're employing someone from Monaco Monaco have never really done anything. When you're employing someone from Brighton who have done fuck all, other than a business model that suits a club for their size, You're looking at that recruitment going, that's pretty bang average. Like, how is that going to get us? You know, we should have been going out for the people that have, you know, managed clubs that have won stuff, won titles, and taken them to that next step. And they haven't done that. And then you look at the employment of the managers. Potter from Brighton never won anything. In the most, I feel sorry for Potter because it's the most horrible situation to come into when the whole club has been stripped down to its bare bones and they're doing a massive switch over. We've got all these players coming back from loan, which I don't even think the owners knew that we had. Do you know what I mean? So it's like Potter had it tough, but his football wasn't good enough either. Then you look at them after that employing Pochettino. I mean, that is a step up from Potter, in my opinion. His football weren't great. It was, but again, I know everybody loves to do context. He made a lot of mistakes, in my opinion, Pochettino. I thought he had a very good start to pre-season, and all of a sudden we go into the season, he changes our shape, he changes their positions, he's playing them out of position. Made no sense. No sense at all. And then that carried on throughout the season. We had a very horrible start to that season. And we saved it towards the end of the season with 5 wins on the bounce. And we, unluckily, don't make the Champions League. Or the Europa League, I think it is, wasn't it? One of them. Because Man United win the FA Cup, which you wouldn't have expected. Either way, that happened. I didn't think Pochettino was good enough. But it got to the point where I was like, yeah, if he stays or goes, what to do? Don't care. I'm not interested. I'm bored. Now he goes, right? Now we employ another manager, Enzo Maresca, from the Championship. From the Championship, not used to running a big club. Obviously, he's worked in the facilities like Man City, etc. But again, it's a bang average appointment. It's someone that is learning on the job. It's a project manager, if you know what I mean by a manager. That's a project. So it's like that's where we've leveled ourselves out. We're like a development company. We're not a serious club right now. If we were serious, we'll be getting all the top talent out there. Real Madrid don't piss around. If they want to win the title, which they want to do every single year, title, Champions League, that is the goal. If you don't win it, not good enough. They will go out and headhunt the top talent. I want you. You're the one that's going to help me win the league. You're in the squad. They bought Trent last season, yeah? Guarantee you now, they're not happy with Trent. They'll be looking for a replacement already. Guarantee you. Because they don't piss around. It's all about making sure that they stay competitive and they're the best club in the world. We're not doing that. We've got this model. It's all these little buzzwords now. Model of signing young, developing them, and seeing if they get into the first team. I don't think it's that. I don't think that's the true model. I think there's an element of there being a model where they are signing young players. And it's all about, making sure that they're making financially risk-adverse decisions. Signing youngsters where their wages are going to be low. Signing youngsters which haven't hit their ceiling yet, so you're not paying your 150 millions for Lamine Yamal, for example. So it's all players that are pretty average, that have potential to go somewhere. It's rolling the dice. Every single time it's rolling the dice. It's not serious. If you were serious, you go out, get the talent, bang, 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 and you go compete. But they're brought in this model because they don't want to lose money. Now, when Bowley first came in, he introduced his model was, let's go get the players. Let's give them the contracts. He did that with Raheem Sterling. Gave him a big contract, signed him. But then again, I found out through the grapevine, they didn't even know how to deal with footballing contracts and gave him a mad contract without knowing what they were signing him up to. So you could look at it that way. They made mistakes in that first season either way, but at least we signed players. When we looked at them windows, we were going, geez, we're signing players here that are experienced, that, like Koulibaly from Napoli, just won the league. Yeah, like, okay. Now we're not doing that at all. It's just youngsters. And I feel like Egbali has turned that into that Brighton model that they were so happy to be. And that creates an environment of distrust, etc. There's so much going on at Chelsea, This environment of distrust for me is from the fans, the staff, and the players. Nobody knows whether they're coming or going. It don't matter if we can give you incentivized contracts and we'll offer you a contract for doing well. We could still ship you out when we want to. Nicholas Jackson, for example, he got a new contract and he was shipped out as soon as they saw an opportunity to get, maximum profit. They thought, right, let's get rid of him. So when you're looking at all your other stars in this team, are they safe? Are they safe? Your Caicedos, your Palmers, your Cucurellas. Are they actually safe in this team? I don't know. What I do know is that if we carry on the way that we're going, they're not going to want to stick around, that's for sure. They're going to want to go to these clubs where they're going to want to be, competing for top four, competing for titles and Champions Leagues and stuff. Now, them 2 trophies that we won last season, well, one last season, one this season, it counts as this season, has glossed over a lot at the club. Glossed over a lot. Now, we was all happy at the time, but it has seriously glossed over everything that we're doing at the moment. And we've had a very poor start to the season. So today, Bournemouth, we've got to try and all we can do is we've got to get 3 points. We're going on a pretty shit run now. After this, we've got Man City. So lost to Villa. If we don't get points against Bournemouth, then we come up against City, which I don't think we're going to win. I'll be honest with you, I think City are flying at the moment. They're looking like champions already. The way that they're playing, they're improving every single game. You look at their style of play, they've got so many avenues to create chances, so many avenues to create a goal. And then they've got the guy up top who's just an absolute robot, who just finishes anything that comes in his path. Then they've got people around him that can also score. Cherky can just whip one in from 25 yards. They've got Doku that's been causing problems. They're about to sign Semenyo tomorrow. Not tomorrow, on the 1st of Jan. They're adding to their team. They're serious about getting that title back. I'm looking at how they're playing and I'm going, they're improving. Obviously, their defence is a little bit wobbly. We know that. And then you look at the teams around them. Arsenal, I feel like they're going through a big dip at the moment, even though they're still getting results. Their football hasn't been great for a while. They're relying on own goals at the moment. They've been, they're always relying on something, whether it's own goals. They go for 4 games with 4 own goals, and then they go with 4 games with corners, and it's stuff like that. Their football at the moment hasn't been great, but their squad is so good together, and it's been put together properly, that they're in the position that they are, and they are competing. They're doing very well in Champions League. They're doing very well in the Premier League. They're still in all the domestic cups. So I know I like to jump on and banter, Arsenal, but at the end of the day, their club have moved in the right direction. And obviously they've had to be patient, which is the thing that is annoying for Chelsea fans, that we may have to be patient, but we haven't got that patience. We don't do that. We want to win now. It's one of them ones. So it's taken Arteta 6 years and 1 billion to get to where he is. And if he doesn't get anything this season, in my opinion, he needs to go. I thought we needed to go seasons before that, but I'm sure Arsenal fans are very happy where they are at the moment. And obviously they want more. They do want more. I listen to their streams. They want more, which is understandable. But when you weigh up where we are, we've got a long way to go until we're there. So today, we need to get a result. There's no 2 ways about it. We can't be doing draws. We can't be doing losses. It needs to be a win. We're at home. The one thing that might have a little buzz for Bournemouth is it could be Semenyo's last hurrah. I could see him scoring a goal and then playing us on the first and then scoring again. Imagine that. Scores for us in a matter of a week with 2 clubs. That's got to be a record. But I hope we don't see that. So if you're in the chat, what we got here at the moment? Mickey Mouse, oh, shut up. Who's this knob? Look. Tossing for Arsenal. Got an Arsenal fan in the chat already. Look. Mickey Mouse trophies, leave it out. You dream of winning trophies. You dream of winning any trophy, mate. You dream of seeing your football players with their armpits in the air. That ain't happened for a while. But listen, we've got 8 people here from Twitter. We've only got 10 people in the chat. But let me know what you think of today's game for Bournemouth. Give me your match predictions of that. I'm going to do the little predictor in a minute. It's just a bit of an interesting one, to be fair, because I feel like at the moment, Enzo Maresca is obviously, he's come out before and he's had a big, we had the hoo-ha with all the press conferences, and they come out, there's issues in the background. So these issues in the background, we had it at the start of the season as well. He asked for the centre-back, didn't get the centre-back. And it kind of felt like he threw his toys out of the pram and just pushed the centre-backs out there. It started to go wrong, and then he could sit there and go, "Hi, you know what? Told you so," kind of thing. But I still feel like he's made mistakes all the way through this season, Enzo Maresca. And I kind of feel like he's doing it again. I kind of feel like it's come out, he's had the press conferences, and now it seems to have changed. His press conferences now, it seems to be that he's towing the line. There is no issues. I love my squad. That's he's saying all the things just to say, like, just to appease everybody. So he can never be wrong. Oh, I love my squad. You know what I mean? He can't do no wrong by the people above him. He's being prepped, saying, no, you have to say this. Da, 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 da. And he's doing the yes man thing. But in reality, I feel like he's just going, fuck it. That's why I feel like he brought the Jamie Gittins on for Garnacho. In my opinion, the subs that I would have made on that day would have been the Cucurella one. If he's injured, he has to go off. Done. Sub him off. I would have maybe bolstered it with putting Santos in the middle if we knew that Tielemans was in the 10. I certainly wouldn't have taken Cole Palmer off. Now, he was pissed off the other day. So we've got to be careful with that one. He come out before saying, listen, this guy's ready to go. We've got 90, he can play 90 minutes. Now, this week, he's saying, well, this game, he's saying we've got to assess him. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? And I just feel like self-sabotage is a bit of a strong word. It's a bit of a strong word, but I feel like there's a little bit more to it. Do you know what I'm saying? For some reason, I just don't trust it. I feel like that's why he chucked Gittins on. He just went, well, fuck it. This is what I've got on the bench. Gittins on you go. Go show what you can do. I don't think he thought, you know what? I know what will win this game. I'm going to take Garnacho off. I'm going to put Gittins on. Tell you what, I'll take Palmer off and I'll put Esteval in the 10. And I'll show everybody this is what I'm dealing with. In reality, I think he could have done Esteval for Neto, kept them two on the pitch. For some reason, he doesn't want to play these two on the pitch. Is he like hiding something, like a hidden gem that we don't know about, that when these two play together, it's going to be amazing? He doesn't like playing them together. He needs to do it. But let's see. So, I don't know. So, like I said, self-sabotage is a little bit of a strong word. But I just, at the moment, don't really trust what's going on and why he's doing certain things. I don't understand why Fofana, for example, was rested for this performance. Of all the performances, like of all the teams to play, you don't rest your best centre-back against Bournemouth. Against Villa for Bournemouth. Villa on a 10-game unbeaten, 10-game winning streak. Play your best centre-backs. Why did he rest Fofana? We could have rested Fofana for today. We could have played Badiashile for today. Now, in that first half, I actually thought Badiashile played very well. I thought him and Chalobah swept up everything perfectly. And it takes one moment of stupidity from him. One moment. And then he doesn't have the capacity to think, I need to get back here. I need to go support Chalobah. I've just given the ball away. He just trots along. And it's too often from him, I'm afraid. When he come back from his injury from the first time round, I thought, wow, this guy's back, he's looking good. Before that, I was saying, get rid. And he kind of changed my mind. I thought, you know what? No, he's absolutely balling out. But he's come back after this injury. Maybe he's not fully fit. I don't know. Maybe he needs a little bit more game time. But he ain't been good, man. It's not been good. And the problem that we've got is we've got too much of that going on in our back line. Too many little silly mistakes that cost us. And to be fair, we've got it across the whole board. Too many. I've been saying this since Blueco, Todd Bowley and all them Clearlake took over, that the problem that we've got with this young side is that we make too many individual mistakes constantly. And it just affects our game. And when you're playing at this level, one mistake is enough to be punished. And that's exactly what happened with Ollie Watkins. He got lucky with the rebound. Rob Sanchez, I thought, had a very good game. Rob Sanchez, by the way. That's one player we look at and go, flip it, where's this come from? Where are these performances come from? And the thing is, we need that to rub off on all these players. We saw Cucurella have a poor first season and he improved. We see Sanchez have a couple poor seasons. He's now improved. We need him to maintain that though, because I still don't got that trust level yet with him. You know, we saw Caicedo have a poor first season and then improve. So one thing what I've learned with these players is that we do need to give them time. Back in the day, we used to give our signings time all the time. You know what I mean? Especially if they signed from another league, we always used to give it the 1 year rule. I'll give them a season and they'll be all right. We don't give these players any time whatsoever anymore. I understand it. There's a lot of money in football. We want to win. We ain't won for a while. The patience is wearing thin. When you're looking at this, what these new owners are doing, the patience is wearing thin with everyone. But I see Garnacho getting hounders all the time. Like, give the kid a break. Give the kid a break. He's 21 years old. Yes, he might be on 100k a week. Whoop-de-fucking do, but he still hears the outside noise. And if you want him to play well on the pitch, don't say to him you're shit before you're going on the pitch. How about that? You know, some people don't always have this mentality of, oh, I'm going to prove everybody wrong by just going out there and winning the games. Not everybody's got that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we see all these movies and you expect that mentality. Oh, I'm going to prove them wrong. And you go out and they score a hat trick or whatever and they come off the pitch and go, yeah, I'm the man. Don't work like that all the time. He's a real human being. You know what I'm saying? I think like for him, especially Garnacho, I think he needs an arm around his shoulder. I think he needs the fans to get off his back and to encourage him and actually look at what he's doing. He's doing all right on that left-hand side. You know what? The same thing happened with Noni Madueke, you know, before we sold him. That guy was actually improving under Maresca, in my opinion. Very direct. I like the way he played football. He can be frustrating because his end product's not great, but he will take on a player non-stop. He'll take it down the byline. He'll cut in. He'll cause problems for them defenders all day long. Trust me, as a defender, you don't want to be playing up against them players where you don't know whether he's going left, right, cutting in, whipping a ball in, shooting. You don't want to play against them players. But you want them players in your team because it causes a nightmare for them and they have to think about what they're doing. And whilst they're busy thinking about what they're doing, there's someone else on the pitch that's good enough that can do something. So I actually like Noni Madueke. I didn't want to see him go, but I knew he was going anyway because of Esteval coming in. Anyway, I have waffled on for too long. This is what we're going to go with. I'm going to tell you what I would personally go with, but I am going to then go and say, well, let me see if I can share my screen. Let's see, share screen. I've got two monitors. Yeah, share screen. Let's do the lineup builder, share. So there we go. Oh, is that too small? Can that be seen properly? Let me zoom in. You can't really see that because I've got a. Can I squeeze that out? Let me see if I can squeeze that out quickly. Wonder if I can full screen. Let's just do full screen. So I might be able to zoom in on. There we go. We'll zoom in on that. So this is what. Hold on. Let's go back. Oh, fuck that up. What have I done here? What have I done here? Oh, I've messed my own layout up. Hold on. I'm having a nightmare here. All right, there we go. Got it back. So this is what they give to me already. This is so obviously we'll change it. Chalobah's going to be playing on the left. Let's say that. Badiashil's not going to be in there. We're going to have Fofana. Don't know whether Cucurella is fit, but we're going to say that he is. Probably would go with Reece James at right back, Fernandez and Caicedo. Now, do you know what? I'm dropping Neto, if I'm honest with you, because I wasn't impressed with the last game. Where is he? the kid, the wonder kid. I'm giving him Esteban a start. But what I want to do is I want to do that because I'm bored. I'm bored of this. We've seen this guy play his best football on the right. Let's just play him on the right. Esteban wants to play in a 10. He said it. He can play in a 10. He's got something about him. Whether or not we try it now is a different story. But yeah, man, I'm thinking. You zoom in the browser. So, do you know what? My comments ain't showing up, you know. How we doing, Vincent? You good? Good to see you tuning in from Kenya, man. I appreciate that. I love all of my African viewers. I get a lot of African viewers, to be fair. A lot of Nigerians, a lot of Kenyans, South Africans as well. I appreciate you all. I do. But we'll see how we're getting on. I think we'll do the predictor after. We'll do the predictor. Let me zoom in a little bit more so you can see. There we go. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going with Esteban on the 10 and Palmer on the right. It might not make no sense. It might be better off to keep it like that with Palmer and Esteban. But I think Esteban should get a start today. João Pedro stay up top. I'm not having Delap. I'm sorry. You know what? I advocated for Delap so badly going into the season because I said, you know what? It's a good sign-in, but we need to sign someone else. You know, a gunman like a Victor Osimhen. You know, at first I didn't want Osimhen because of his wage demands, etc. But then I thought, you know what? He scores goals. We need him. We signed João Pedro. We signed Delap, and then we got rid of Nicholas Jackson, which to me, I think, again, I know we all moan about these players throughout the season, yeah? But getting rid of Jackson for me just didn't make any sense. It just did not make any sense. And I started to feel like we were going backwards. And we have, you know, our recruitment ain't been good enough this season. So that's what I'm going with. I'm keeping Garnacho on the pitch, but this is what I think is going to happen. This is where I think Maresca is. This is what he's going to do, which is it's going to frustrate me. I'm not going to lie. I don't think James is going to play. I reckon he's going Gusto. I reckon he's going to drop Gittins because I just don't know. I just drop Gittins. I mean, drop Garnacho for Gittins. He likes to tinker. He likes to rotate. I reckon Neto still starts. I kind of feel like he's doing that. I mean, it's only two faces out of there that have changed, Reece James and Garnacho, but I kind of feel like he's going with that. We don't know if Cucurella's going to be playing or not, but I'd imagine if he ain't, he'll go with Badiashile. I don't know if Palmer's going to start because he said he needs to assess him. Let's say Palmer doesn't start. Let's just say he doesn't start. He does this. But he goes with that. If Palmer doesn't start, he goes with that. That's a worry, if I'm honest with you. That's a worry. We've got to remember when we played Bournemouth last time, it was a 0-0 draw at their ground. And in that first half, we could have been 2-0 down. So we've got to be very careful. Very careful going into this game. I mean, everyone's coming to the bridge now thinking we can get points. Nobody's scared to play us. Nobody is scared to play us. And, you know, it comes down to this mentality thing that I've said before. These players can get themselves up for the big games, for the very big games. You know, the underdog story. They love playing the underdog story. We're the greatest underdog at the moment. We come up against the Barcelona, we thump them. We come up against a good Arsenal team, and we do really well. should have won that game, to be fair. We come up against the Liverpool side and we'll play well. Shit, we'll play rubbish today and we'll play good against Man City. So it's a mentality thing. Now, they will be looking at that as well. I reckon the whole Prem know this, that if you come out the blocks, your intensity is high, your tempo is high, you can get at us very quickly. Very quickly. And you know what? It's one of the biggest things that I keep saying every single stream. Let's make sure that our tempo and our intensity is high, because that's when we play our best football. We seem to play our best football on the counter, if I'm being honest with you. I don't like this possession-based football that we keep doing. Yes, it's good that we keep the ball all the time and eventually we work it into the box and we score, but how often does that happen? When we come up against low blocks, we really struggle. All they do is put all their players behind and we struggle to open up the space. We make it very congested. Very congested. So we need to be, I'm always saying we need to drop our players to allow the space to open up. Now, let's just play around with this for a bit. So we could do that. I don't think, I'll be honest with you, I don't think Gitten should be starting. I don't think he should be starting. We go back to do that. He could try that out. Palmer on the right, Pedro in 10, Gnacho on the left, Delap up top. He could try that. But if it's me, I'm letting the boy start today. And João Pedro is actually got the most goals and assists at the moment. I did a tweet on it the other day. If you go on my profile, click on my X profile, you will see I've got a pinned tweet there. He's got the most G&A for us this season, João Pedro, including the Club World Cup. And then it's Neto. So, be honest, this is what I'm going to go with. That's what I want to go with. Where's my face gone now? There we go. I'm back in the game. I've lost the back in. What's going on here? Oh, fuck it. We'll just do that. I don't have to get that back, so we'll sort that out later. So, yeah. That's what I'm going to go with. I don't know what he's going to go with. The team sheet should be coming out probably it comes out an hour and 15 before the game. So you're looking at 6 something. I'm not going to be around, so I won't be doing a live stream. So I thought, let's jump on, do this. So thanks to everybody that's tuning in. If you are tuning in, make sure you're following me on X. I will follow you back. Drop me a message. If you're watching on YouTube, obviously hit the like button, share it, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get my followers up in 2026 to 500. I know it's a small channel, but next year I want to set some targets that I can try and achieve. I think 500 is a pretty reasonable target. So for all the people that are tuning in on X, if you want to go over to the YouTube channel as well and hit the subscribe button, it is free, don't cost you nothing. So we can tune in and get involved with the chats, the debates. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the scoreline today. Score prediction, I've gone with just a measly 1-0, if I'm honest with you. A measly 1-0. So you can see I'm struggling to sort all this thing out. I don't really... I mean, I'd like to say that we dominate the game. I'd like to say we play very well, but we haven't really played well all season. So I haven't got much faith in our own performances that we're going to be able to deliver. So I'm going with a 1-0. Let me know what you think in the chat or message me what you think it's going to be. 1-0 win for Chelsea. I think it's going to be sloppy. I just think we're Morale is very low at the moment. We're in December. The December curse lives on. Do you know what I'm saying? Home record ain't been great. The fans are starting to lose patience. I think in the ground it's starting to get a little bit, frustrating. It's turning a little bit. They're getting annoyed with the manager. There's all sorts going on at the moment that I think is affecting what's going on at the club. Again, I don't know what he's actually going to put out today. I've heard rumours that Gittins is starting and Gusto is starting already. So that's why I put out what I think he's going to do. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the scoreline. And for everyone that has tuned in, I very much appreciate it. I'm going to leave it there. Let's see what happens. Won't be doing a match reaction either because I'm not about this evening at all. Might do something tomorrow, but let's hope that we get the win. That's what we need. We need the win. We need the win. We see Arsenal playing Villa as well today, which is two sides above us that we need them to drop points. One of them is going to drop points, or they're both going to drop points. So it's an opportunity to close down the gaps that seem to be ever increasing. That's why it's so frustrating that we didn't beat Villa the other day, because we could have beat Villa, won today, and maybe Arsenal win, and that's a 6-point gap closed very, very quickly. If I'm being totally honest, I'm hoping Villa win today. It's at Arsenal though, so I don't expect it, but I'm hoping they both drop points. To be fair, I'm hoping both drop points. That's probably the best result for us. But we're not going to win the league. Let's be honest. We're struggling to get top 4 this season. So if I'm honest, I want Villa to win. That's the truth. I want Villa to win. I want to see them win the league, if I'm being honest with you. Fed up with Man City winning it. Can't have Arsenal winning it ever. So up the Villa and up the Chelsea today. Hopefully we get the win. So thanks for tuning in. Leave a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on X, and I'll see you in the next one in a bit.